Hello, Red Wave. Welcome to our Bulldogs podcast. Today, we get to know the San Diego State Aztecs with an old friend of ours. It's been a long time. He was on here last year. That is Matteo Ortiz from the Sons of Montezuma podcast. Matteo, how are you, my friend?
Talking to you guys, Caleb, Mr. Caleb, and Mr. Caleb Pletz, and the Red Wave. Guys, it's been a while. I didn't think we were going to see much of each other after our last episode, but I think we're going to be joined at the hip for the foreseeable future. And there's nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. Thank you guys for having me on.
Oh, of course. We're going to get into the game and all, but tell everybody what exactly you do at Sons of Montezuma.
Well, Sons of Montezuma is a fan brand that we started maybe about 2016, 17. Started off as an Instagram page. I'm a graphic designer by trade, so making player edits, graphics, all those kind of fun things. It kind of grew into a podcast when we were fighting for our stadium, or new Snapdragon Stadium down here. It had to go through a whole referendum process. The city had to vote on it, so we created a podcast to drum up some information out there for the voters to hear. Grew into talking about the games, all that good stuff. We launched the site, the full sonsofmontezuma.com site, I want to say 2021, right after COVID. And since then, grown into NIL. We do NIL with players as far as apparel. And now we've kind of dabbled into events, different cool events, podcast events, of course, getting an opportunity for fans to be up close and personal while we interview them. And it's just grown. It's been a lot of fun down here in San Diego. It's something different for us. We've had the Chargers for so long, and now we're kind of trying to step in and fill that gap and present something for football fans down here.
Oh, I love it. And it's always fun to see other people and other schools embracing the kids, doing NIL and throwing all the support they can at the kids in the university. So we've been following you guys for a while, and you guys do a great job. So props to you guys. And I know you got a live tonight as well.
Yeah, we're gonna go live on the football side. We're probably not going to talk too much about this game this weekend. It's been one of those years, guys. It's just, there's a lot going on down here.
But now there's, a vacancy at the helm, so there's a new opportunity for hope, right?
Yeah, I mean, do we really even need to talk about this game, guys? Okay, before we go any further, I really respect what you guys do as well. Very inspired from you guys and a lot of other podcasts in the conference. But, leading up to this point, like I said, the Mountain West, it was in our rearview mirror. So now that we've been grinding through this horrible season, and we're at this, looking at this game from the beginning of the year, I thought this was going to be a classic rivalry game, having you guys down here, San Jose last week. And it's the last thing on any of our minds, to be honest with you. It really is. And then we got a basketball game tomorrow at 4 p.m. We're going to try and watch it at the tailgate. So, yeah, that's kind of where we're at.
Well, our basketball team's getting absolutely blasted right now by JMU. So
I'm sorry to hear that. I know I kind of gave you guys some hope in the basketball preview last year about with Coach Hutt. And I mean, man, I know he's in the Valley, right? But us down here, we really watch him from afar. We feel like he's one of our own. So we really want him to do well. Of course, not when you guys play us, but man, we're pulling for him. Of course, you guys know his wife is our Aztec women's coach. So there's that relationship and that connection. And man, it's been tough. It's been tough to watch.
Yeah, it's been tough. But back to San Diego State, bro. You talked about, there's you guys are talking about this game. You got a lot of stuff going on. But what is the overall feeling around the Aztec fan base about this football team? Not too happy, but when you talk to the fans out there, what are they saying?
Well, I pride myself on Sons of Montezuma being able to really interact with the fans a lot. I really do feel like we've tapped into. We're fans ourselves. We're kind of like the epitome of social media. We're not necessarily your normal journalistic approach. We engage a lot with the fans. So the temperature, it's I hate to say it's a carryover from the Pac-12 implosion, but it truly is. I mean, there's just been a series of dominoes that have fallen since last year, and you can go back to the Matt Ariza situation. You can go to having to play in Carson, which was before that. And that was arguably a great season for us. We've had the highest win totals that year at 12 wins. So it should have been at a fever pitch, such a height of excitement. Of course, that was in Carson though, so it really didn't get the fans involved and invested like it should have if it was down in San Diego in front of them. So, like I said, fast forward with some of these different off the field things. Of course, the Pac-12 implosion that really crushed a lot of people's expectations, the hopes in the new stadium, despite having the new stadium. And that place. If you guys make the trip, I hope you guys do. I mean, it's a wonderful, wonderful venue for football. But the fans, I think we get a bad rap. San Diego gets a little bit of a bad rap for they want to say fair weather, they don't show up. Guys, San Diego sports fans have been through the ringer. I mean, we're talking back since the 50s, 60s. 2 NBA teams have left town. Our NFL team left town. The Padres have been just an afterthought, even though recently they've done very well. But San Diego State fans, we've been on the back burner for so long. Now we're in the spotlight. All the eyes are on us. And to not have the performance that we hoped for in this new stadium, the culmination of everything we worked so hard for, it's been a very big disappointment and a bit of an unexpected one.
So maybe this is jumping ahead a little bit, but I am curious about just overall attendance at the new stadium at Snapdragon, because it seems like a lot of the games have definitely not been full. So I've seen that, ticket prices are pretty high and, other stuff. So, I mean, is that an impact, or, I mean, what's the overall attendance or feel been like in the stadium? Like, is it, a true home field advantage, or is that still work in progress?
It's definitely still a work in progress. The numbers haven't been well, but for the ones that have been there, it's been a fun atmosphere, for us diehards. It's a great place to watch the games. I mean, any kind of amenity you want, it's there. Food, drink, fun thing, there's sight lines are incredible. So all on those aspects, it's an enjoyable time. When people are there, they're having a great time. They're into the game. There hasn't been enough on the field to warrant those ticket prices, however. And, we really dove really deep on the whole ticket price thing on our side. When I tell you that they were really basing the price range off of new stadium, Pac-12 inclusion, I mean, it was taken into their studies and their research. And hey, we got to pay for that new stadium. There's a lot of events that go there, a lot of soccer, a lot of, rugby, to any kind of event. It's there. And that definitely helps. But San Diego is a very expensive place to be at. And to charge the prices that they're at right now, it's definitely going to have a big shift next year, depending on what they do with the hire, for sure.
Where are you leaning on this hire?
Well, we're going to get into it. We're, like I mentioned, we're going to do a big live tonight because there are 2 coaches, potential candidates that have been interviewed or contacted thus far. Of course, we have our wish list, right? You never like to see a coach, ceremoniously retire or get fired. And we really don't. I mean, Coach Hoke, we, respect the guy. I mean, he's the one that turned this thing around over 10 years ago, 12 years ago. If it wasn't for Coach Hoke, Rocky Long would not be here and had really established our culture, as you know it, our modern culture in football. So to see him, and the way the team has gone, it's the fans have really turned. It's gotten pretty ugly. But I think at this point, him stepping down was the right thing to do. It really gives everybody an opportunity to give him his flowers, let him move on. We have our wish list, like I said. We've thrown names out there, names you guys are familiar with, a Ryan Grubb, up there in Washington. Several others. Yeah, but I think our overinflation of ourselves, looking at ourselves in the mirror, thinking we are just this, Power 5 bound program. And don't get me wrong, I think we are the best of the G5 as far as overall metrics and all that goes. But Cliff Kingsbury is not coming to San Diego State. That's not going to happen, despite my co-host wish. They all want Kingsbury to come down here. I'm like, he's such a high profile guy. It's not going to happen. But two names, just to throw the two names. We're looking at Brennan Marion at UNLV, right? Their offensive coordinator, quarterback coach there. He's got that explosive offense. He's one that I know for sure they've interviewed. And Tony White, which is he's a Rocky Long guy, and we're very familiar with Tony White. So those are two names. He's in Nebraska right now. There's two names that we're very interested in. We're going to look at those tonight, but those are just two. I mean, they're going to do their search, and yeah, we'll see where it goes.
All right. Well, very interesting. Matteo, I'm going to quickly pay some bills right now, and then I'm going to ask you about team strengths and weaknesses going into Saturday. But first, I got to thank the Vine Church in Fresno for supporting Bulldogs podcast. You can find the Vine Church in Fresno on Shaw, just west of Grantland. They meet Sundays, 10 a.m. The people there that attend church are kind, welcoming. They want you to be there, and their pastor speaks biblical truth. So if you're looking for a support group, if you're looking to strengthen your community or want to grow your community, check out the Vine Church in Fresno, just west on Shaw, just west of Grantland, Sundays, 10 a.m., or they meet for prayer on Thursdays. If you need prayer, you can go there as well. Also, got to give a big thank you to Givoli Winery in Biola, located on Biola Avenue, just north of Shaw. Givoli Winery is open Saturdays and Sundays from noon to 5, and on weekdays by appointment only. You got wine tastings available. You have brick oven, wood fire pizza for sale as well. And December 10th, by the way, if you want to check out Givoli Winery, December 10th, we're playing bucket golf there. The Boyer Bulldogs podcast is putting that on, so we'd love to see you out there. But check out GivoliWinery.com. That's Z-I-V-E-L-I Winery, Z-I-V-E-L-I Winery.com to check out all their stuff and their events coming up. So big thank you to the Vine Church and Givoli Winery. All right. So when it comes to San Diego State, I know we've gotten used to you guys running the ball well and playing really solid defense. But this year, what would you say is the team's strength overall?
It's a really tough one to put your finger on, especially when it comes to the offense. You're right. We've always prided ourselves on pounding the rock, not even just running the ball, pounding the rock. I mean, anytime we get over, I think it was 200 yards rushing, our win percentage is astronomical. It's ridiculous. You couple that with the defense, and that was always by design from Rocky Long. We all know Rocky Long. He loves to run the ball because it complemented that 3-3-5 so well. Keeps them with their ears pinned back and get ahead of a team. You can really rush the quarterback. Well, we're not doing either of those two things. We're not running the ball, and we're not getting after the quarterback. So if I could say there's a strength, it really comes down to Jalen Maiden at quarterback. I mean, it's tough to say because he's had a bit of an up and down year, but every game you look at the numbers, you look at the performance, and it's not a bad performance at all. I think our game against, who was it, Utah State, he threw 3 touchdowns, 1 interception, but that 1 interception happened to be the last play of the game in overtime. So it's just one of those years, you're not running effectively. The turnovers come at just the wrong time of the game, but it still comes down to him. If he's on, he's explosive. He can make plays with his legs. He can make the throws that are necessary to win a game. It just is, like I said, it just hasn't been our year.
Yeah, I was surprised to look and see that he's the leading rusher, which seems very surprising. But he also has the most carries, so I mean that makes sense there. So is that mostly by design? That hey, Jalen, we need you to put the team on your back and go get some yards?
Yeah, with our offensive coordinator Ryan Lindley, it's his first year, and that's always been something that they've tried to do with Jalen is have him running out of formations by design. Haven't seen too much of it lately. I think they've been a little more dedicated to getting the ball to their running backs. We've got a really good stable of running backs. I don't think that's necessarily the issue. But just along the scheme, it hasn't clicked. And really the stable, there doesn't seem to be like a full dedication to one or two guys in particular that we would have thought would have gotten the bulk of the carries. It's been spread around very evenly. And so that's also a contributing factor to him kind of having those rushing yards be the most on the team. It's kind of a head scratcher, but he's dangerous at it, being able to escape the pocket. Love his pocket awareness, and he's able to escape. But yeah, it's not the kind of rushing that I think we ultimately want.
Would you say that's due to the lack of production at the offensive line position?
It's all married to each other, because there's spots that they really excelled in pass coverage. There's spots where they've really, been able to get some gains on the ground, but it's just every single week you see some mistakes, you see some undisciplined, penalties, you see interception or a fumble or a drop pass. I mean, it's really spread evenly. I can't really pinpoint it on the O-line saying, oh, they've underperformed, because there've been spots where they've been really good.
So how about on the defensive side of the ball? Is there any, player, a couple of guys that really stand out and, are the heart of the Aztec defense?
Absolutely. So shameless plug on our NIL team. We obviously recognize, on the defensive line, he's a total stud. And basically he's one of the guys that we've really, really tried to pump up because he's from your guys' neck of the woods, right? Garrett Fountain from up there in Turlock. Big 6'4", 260 senior. It's his last year. Absolute stud. I mean, plays with a relentless motor. And, we attribute that to his upbringing, man. Up there, he's a big sportsman, all about, being on the hunt. And it shows on the football field. He's a tremendous talent. Another guy at the linebacker spot, definitely want to give a lot of hype to. And let's see, that would be Vi Cajo, has been very, very solid. I want to say some younger guys have really stepped up this year on the defense as well. I know Zyrus Fiaseu, we always kind of argue about how to say his last name, but Zyrus, number 6, he is a baller. He is just a sophomore, but he kind of reminds us, I don't know if you guys remember the name Jake Feely from back in the days. You see the hair flying out of the helmet, and wherever the ball is at, he's going to be attacking it. So those are definitely two guys in the box that you got to keep an eye out.
And what about special teams? You guys have had some pretty solid special teams players in the past. How's special teams looking this year?
So special teams, Jack Browning took over the punting and kicking duties last year and this year after the punt god, went on to the NFL. And Jack Browning, I mean, he's had tremendous games. He's had tremendous seasons. He's been on all kind of watch lists. He was a walk-on as well, so on the Burlsworth watch list as well. He kicked the longest field goal in Mountain West school history this year when he did it against Air Force. I want to say 61 yards, 62-3, something like that. But it was a school record, Mountain West record. So he's got a leg. He's only been punting lately, though. I think they've been having the backup kicker. So I'm not sure. That might be the case for this game as well. He may not be kicking field goals this game. So we'll see. Maybe it comes down to that.
Yeah, that would make sense because I was just, looking at the, stats for the season, and Browning only 61% from field goals. So I'm like, okay, something must be going on here because, usually he was nails. So, but there is another guy that's 4 for 4 behind him. So I'm like, okay, maybe this is the new replacement kicker guy.
When I tell you, it's been just inconsistent all around. I mean, we're so used to him being nails, and just you would miss a field goal at the wrong time. Momentum goes down on the team. Anytime you miss a field goal, that just takes a lot of life out of your team during that game. So it's just one of those things.
Where are you guys struggling most on defense, would you say? Like, what would that be stopping the run, stopping the pass?
My opinion, it'd have to be stopping the run. We've always prided ourselves on being able to stop the run and run. And earlier this year, we went up to Oregon State when we played the Beavers, right? And of course, they got, high-powered offense, big-time quarterback transfer. And we left that game knowing that, man, if they would have been more dedicated to the run, that game probably would have been out of reach a lot sooner. And they were trying to throw the ball around. And I think that kind of works against you, against this team. We have a lot of leadership in the defensive backfield, a lot of safeties, corners, even though we lost a few to the portal and whatnot. But either way, definitely struggling to stop the run. Seeing some uncharacteristic things. Last week against San Jose, we were right there in it. All we needed was a stop. And when I tell you San Jose, they just ran the ball. Just put their head down and grinded out that victory, and nothing you could do. And that's demoralizing. You got to be able to stop the run. If you can't stop the run, oh man, for any team, I don't care who you are, it's just such a punch in the gut.
Oh yeah, we've been feeling that the last 2 weeks. Yeah.
I don't get it. I don't get what's going on with you guys. It's like, what happened? I was like kind of excited to maybe have a chance to be a spoiler, but at this point, is there any spoiling to do?
No, it's already been spoiled. So this is just trying to get 2 more wins to get to double digits, I guess.
I don't get it, man. I saw your fan on Twitter go berserk. A classic meltdown. It was amazing. I really admired his passion and his ability to communicate all that he was spewing out. It was like, I know he was speaking for so many fans because we just get so riled up. But boy, yeah, we've been there. We've been there this year.
Yeah, he said a lot of things that we can't say on here. So.
If you got to cut that out, I totally get it.
No. Caleb, who are some other people we need to thank for Beware Bulldogs? And after that, we'll get to how Matteo thinks this game's going to play out.
Yeah, first we need to thank Eastie's Wood Shop. They've been a great supporter so far this football season. You definitely want to check out their website, shopew.store, for custom woodworking and home decor needs. They have a lot of really cool items that they can personalize for you. They do wood and even glass etching too. So really cool stuff. Check out their website, shopew.store. You can use the code BEWARE for 15% off your first purchase. The holidays are here, so time to find some gifts for your loved ones. So Eastie's is definitely a good option. Another good option if you're looking for gifts, Flora Flower Company, their local flower shop. They're located on Shepherd and Willow. They're open Monday through Saturday, 10 to 6. So they have lots of gifts there for your loved ones. They also offer subscriptions for flowers. So that's another cool option. And they are delivered to your house. So you can also use the code Fresno15 for 15% off at Flora. And we thank them for their support so far through this football season.
And I also got to give a big shout out to Manage X. Manage X is full service property management company that services single family, small multifamily, office, industrial properties. They've been in business in Fresno for a long time, since 1978, and are huge supporters of Fresno State and Beware Bulldogs podcast. So if you guys need any property management, you need to go to their website, managex.net. That's manage, the letter X.net, and let them know that we sent you. So a big thank you to ManageX. All right, Matteo. If I call you on Sunday and San Diego State has won the game, how would you say San Diego State did that?
Well, I think we only have about 3 of them this year, so your guess is probably as good as mine. No, I take that back. How they did it, it would just be a full-on dedication to sending out the coaching staff the right way and the seniors the right way. I mean, they would have to really just play out of their minds, play with nothing but heart and passion and really leave it out there. X's and O's, that's all fine and great. But at this point, these games never really came down to X's and O's, guys. Can we be real? Back in the days, all the slugfest between the Aztecs and the Bulldogs. I remember a game down in San Diego. It was so foggy, and we almost had Carr knocked out, and your guys' perfect season ruined. We had a chip shot field goal, and it gets blocked, and you guys win it in overtime. I mean, these games come down to situations like that. You know, who's going to make a play? Who's going to step up in those crucial moments? You know, our schemes are they're all over the place at this point. It's not about that. It's about who's really going to play to win, who wants it, which is going to be tough. I mean, the situation the Bulldogs are in, the situation we're definitely in, you know, the motivation, I hate to say it, but, you know, these are young guys, a lot to play for. But at this point of the season, how are you going to motivate? How are you going to motivate? You know, who wants the starting job next year, running the next year? Well, who knows? We're going to have a new coaching staff. So, yeah, it's just got to come down to who's got the passion on Saturday.
That's a good point. I like that. Because we're hurting. And I know our team is, I mean, I think they want to bounce back. And I know San Diego State does too after a downer season. And, you know, they want to represent Coach your Coach Hoke all, you know, in a good light, but you know how do they do it and can they do it? So it's a good point. I like that.
Thanksgiving weekend, students probably won't be there. Thanksgiving weekend, it's going to be interesting to see who really wants this game. You know.
All right, so now we'll flip the question. If you know on Sunday we're looking back, Fresno State wins this game. What did the Bulldogs do to overcome the Aztecs?
Well, I would just say, you know, you got to turn us over. You got to turn the ball over. That's number one in any game. Whoever wins that turnover battle is likely to win. And you know, we've had those issues. Of course, stop the run, which we haven't been overwhelming at. I think you know it's really it really just comes down to I think you guys doing what you guys know you can do. You know, I think very highly of Coach Tedford. Talking with my guys, I know they've shared stories with me that back in the days when we were making our hire, that's somebody that we really respect. And gone well, but yeah, we respect the heck out of him. I think if the team just does what they know how to do, you know, we're in flux. We're all over the place at this moment. So that's you know, I think it really comes down to you guys performing. If we really want it, we'll go after it, but that's yet to be seen.
And my last thing, because I know you got a live to get to and get ready for, my last thing for you is that for the Fresno fans that are making a trip down there, what do they need to do? Is there things around the stadium they need to stop at, things in the stadium they need to do? Any tips for the Red Wavers heading down there?
Yeah, when you guys get in your cars and you're coming down the freeway, what you need to do is pull over, make a U-turn, and head back to the valley. It's terrible down here. Let me tell you, the weather is awful. Too much traffic. The prices are too expensive. The beer, the food, it's out of everybody's range. No, I'm just having fun with you guys. No, it's a great place. You know, like I said, all the food, all the drink options are there. There's a couple really cool bars along the sidelines you can watch the game from. As far as maybe going somewhere before getting to the stadium, I'll put a shameless plug out there to McGregor's. It's an Irish pub like right across the freeway from the stadium. You can go there pregame, head on into the tailgating areas. You still can tailgate at the stadium. There's plenty of room there. That'll change in the next 5-10 years or so, but yeah, I mean there's plenty to do and enjoy there. Any seat is a great seat, but yeah, definitely think twice about coming down. Are you guys gonna make it? Or are you guys sitting this one out? I know it's Thanksgiving, so that's tough.
No, I don't think either of us are gonna make it, unfortunately.
Yeah, it's not the
But
easiest way to get down here. It's really not that easy. It's a long trek.
no, yeah, I was actually in San Diego 2 weeks ago for a buddy's bachelor party, but that was when we were in San Jose, so it didn't quite coordinate right.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame you. Thanks. It's a holiday weekend, like I said. I mean, it's going to be tough. It's going to be tough for fans to make this down all the way down from the valley, I'm sure.
Yeah, but it should be a good game. I think with the struggles that we've had defensively, kind of match up well for you guys offensively. And at the beginning of or earlier in the season, I would have said we should be able to handle this game with no problem. Now I'm having second thoughts, and I think this game can go either way. To be honest, any final score predictions from you?
I really wouldn't be surprised if the Aztecs do come out with a victory just because of that rivalry factor. Like I said, if they get up for this game and they do what they potentially can do, I wouldn't be surprised if they eke something out. Maybe like a 24-21, something. Average scoring. I think that's more like I said, just kind of a reflection on where are you guys at right now. I know you guys are explosive, so. If we're playing up to it, I could see something like that. But this team this year has gone the way it's gone. I kind of see something.
Well, it cut out at the end there, but
From what I've seen this year, I'd probably lean towards 28-17 you guys, something along those lines. Maybe a little lower scoring, 24-17 you guys, something like that.
Okay. Caleb, you got anything else for him before we let him prep for his live stream?
I don't think so. I mean, we appreciate your time here. Who's your basketball pick to win the Mountain West here?
Oh, what kind of question is that, guys? Come on, man. No, as I slide
we
this
know
on
for
my
sure
finger,
it's not going to be Fresno State. So.
As I slide this on my finger, I'm just gonna wonder who do I think that. Let me tell you guys, because we haven't talked that Final Four run for us. I hope every college fan gets to experience something as amazing as that was. There were times in the year we didn't see it. We didn't think that team was Final Four destined. And to go on the run that we did, boy, it's really helped our fan base kind of weather through this football storm, knowing that now we're in basketball season and we're, okay, we could have fun again. Boy, let me tell you. Yeah.
Oh, it was fun watching you guys, even though we're rivals, but it was fun watching you guys. I don't know about that ring. I don't think it goes with your skin tone, but I don't know.
I'm more of a gold guy. Maybe this year, we're pretty explosive. Maybe this year we go for the gold. Maybe we get that.
There you go.
I appreciate it, guys. I appreciate you guys pulling for us because I know the Mountain West had our back during that run. We heard a lot of that. Different fan bases like, hey, man, despite what happened between us, we were pulling for you guys. And that's really cool. That's really cool for sure.
Yeah, it was awesome. And we really appreciate what you guys do in the Mountain West and for San Diego State. I mean, you guys don't see behind the scenes, but we chat in the podcast in the Mountain West, try to keep up with each other. And Matteo here does a great job of that. And he's always very supportive. So Matteo, thank you. I want to thank you for that. And so if you guys want to jump in his live stream and make sure you give him some heck. So make sure they know the red wave is there. And
Bring it.
Matteo, thank you very much, and happy Thanksgiving.
Yes, sir. Happy Thanksgiving to you guys. Enjoy yourselves. Hope you have a great time with your families. Still can't stand the Bulldogs, but I appreciate you guys very much.
All right, man. We appreciate it. Take it easy.
See you guys.